Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? It's Saturday. We made it through the week, and I'm cracking up because Chad is actually off work today, and he's being so goofy. He's like sneaking around, like trying to be quiet so like you guys don't hear him. And it's cracking me up. I'm like, babe, I'm not on live yet. Like, it's okay. But so it's Saturday. For those of you that haven't been watching my lives throughout the week, we did Motivational Monday, we did Tutorial Tuesday, we did What's Up Wednesday, we did Thirsty Thursday, we did, what was Friday? Fresh Friday. I had to think about that for a second. And then today, Strong Saturday. So we made it through the week. We did it. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like you could have done more? Do you feel like you could have done less? Do you feel like, I don't know, do you feel tired? Do you feel awake? I mean, it is early. It's 7:30 and it is Saturday. Most of you are probably not working, but there's a lot of you that probably are, like me. I do not want to go to work, but I am going to go to work. I got hairs to do. So today, Saturdays, I feel like should be like kind of self-reflection days. They should be, you got through the week. Now it's time to take the time to just like think about yourself, think about your actions, think about how the week went, think about how you're feeling. Self-development is just so huge. You guys, to be completely honest, I did not really start working on self-development until probably about 8 months ago, to be honest. I just didn't care. I was like, oh, I've gotten this far in life. Oh, I've done this, that, or the other. Oh, I've made it through. But the funny thing is that like depression right now is just such a huge epidemic that I think that that's a lot of the problem is that we're not actually really taking the time to think about what we want to do with our lives. And it's just causing a huge problem. Like self-development is just so important. And I think a lot of us are also just extremely scared of what everybody else thinks. And it's just not worth it. Because like I said, literally the other day, which I will read you back the quote. It was from Tutorial Tuesday when I said, what other people think about you has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. So if people are going to be negative, if people are going to talk bad about you or, you know, I don't know, be rude and nasty and arrogant and whatever, that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with them, and that's their problem. And like I also said the other day too, which I think might have been on the same day, if I can remember. One, comparison is the fastest way to take all the fun out of life because it's so true. Whenever you're comparing everybody and everything, it's just not good. It just makes you feel really bad. It makes the people around you feel bad. When you don't feel good about yourself, it just is a downward spiral. It's not fun. Nobody wants to feel bad. Nobody wants anybody to feel bad unless you're just like a misery loves company type of person. But it's just really, in the moral of the story is that it's just so important to do self-development because you need to take the time to digest the week. You need to take the time to think about what you really want out of life. Like when you really think about it, actually one of my girlfriends that works in the same business as me, with direct sales, she was reading a book not that long ago that was talking about how much time we actually really have on this planet. Some of it was about like us as humans. Some of it was about like how much we have time like with our own children and stuff like that. And I'm not a mom, but for the moms out there, I'm sure you see how fast, and dads, you see how fast like your children grow up, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like one day they were born and the next day they're out of the house going to college and, you know, doing whatever. So it's like time just goes by so fast. And I think we're all so concerned about that. But at the same time, we're wasting a lot of it. And you just don't need to do that. Like, stop working at that job that you don't like. Yeah, I know that sounds really stupid to say because you need to make money. But if you're not happy in it, then why are you there? go find something else, or maybe work 2 jobs that you're actually happy at. You may have to struggle a little bit more. You may have to work a little bit more. You know, you may not have all the free time in the world, but at least if you're doing something that you actually like to do, it makes it a whole hell of a lot more worth it than working at a job that you don't like, or being in a relationship that you don't want to be in, or just being around people you don't want to be around. You know, if you're trying to better yourself and you have friends holding you back or family holding you back or whatever, it's hard to walk away from people, but sometimes you need to walk away from people. If they're not good for your life, if they're not good for you, you need to walk away from them. And yeah, it might be hard, but nobody said that life was supposed to be easy. So, I mean, that's just really what it comes down to. But I wanted to share that Saturdays are just going to be about like self-reflecting. And actually it's kind of crazy. I know a lot of people kind of dog on direct sales and multi-level marketing companies and different things like that, but the crazy thing about it is that I started in a multi-level marketing company, a direct sales company, whatever you want to call it. I started in one of those back in September, right after I got married, right after I came back from my honeymoon, all types of stuff. I did not, to be completely honest, you guys, like I said, I didn't really start self-development, like fully start self-development until about 8 months ago. Well, September wasn't that long ago. And really, half the reason why I really got involved in self-development is because of the company that I'm with, the community that I'm around. The girls that I talk to and guys are in this company as well. Even a lot of these women's husbands and stuff like that are involved, or their children are involved and stuff. So it's like these people push you every single day to do better. Every single one of them. And yes, the jobs that I work at, I do have my clients are very supportive. My coworkers and bosses are very, very supportive, but they're not pushing me every single day to be the best person that I can be. Because it's not them. It's not their responsibility. But the people in the community that I work with in direct sales, we talk to each other every day, all day long, from morning to night. We're always sharing inspirational quotes, always sharing books that we can read, always pumping each other up to listen to a podcast. I mean, we even have girls that'll get on and be like, hey, instead of listening to some music on the way to work, why don't you listen to this podcast that I listened to yesterday or earlier today, or that I'm listening to right now, or whatever. Like, it is so extremely motivating. Half the books that I have bought, first of all, I didn't read, which this probably sounds so terrible, but I was not a school person. For any of you that actually like really know who I am, I was never a school person. I dropped out of high school my sophomore year, 2 months into my sophomore year. I was 16 years old, okay? I never read a book front to back, ever. Literally, I think I read a book one time in 5th grade or something like that when I had a tutor, and she pretty much read the whole thing. I really didn't read it. So it was like for a book report or something. I did not buy a book, read a book, like listen to a book or a podcast ever in my entire life. Never wanted to, didn't care to, just had no aspirations to do that. And so within the last 8 months, I couldn't tell you how many books I've actually bought. And I've read them all the way through. Not all of them. My problem is I'm also a squirrel, because I'll go from one book to the next, and I don't finish one, and then I go to the other one, because I want like multiple information instead of just staying on one. But I have finished books now, and I'm extremely proud of myself because of that. And you guys should be proud of yourself too if you've finished a book all the way through, or a podcast all the way through, or even like an audio book or whatever. I know a lot of people say that listening is a lot easier. I'm one of those people. I love to listen to something, or actually like do something, have my hands on it. So that way it's easier for me to learn. Like, I'm more of a kinesthetic learner. But what I have noticed is that actually picking up a book and reading it and having it in your hand and feeling the pages go through your fingers, and actually being able to stop at a place and come back to it later. Like, there's something about holding a book in your hand that is a lot more motivating than listening to it on your phone. You guys, we have our phones in our hands 24/7. it always cracks me up whenever people don't answer their phone or don't answer a text message or don't do this, that, or the other. It's so funny to me because it's like, we all know that you have your phone in your hand. Like, you're not fooling anybody. So it's like, but we're on our phones all the time. And sometimes we need to take a break from that. And I agree, like, I'm on that page too. I do a lot of social media networking, marketing. I'm on it all the time. I have to be on it all the time. You know, I also promote my massage business, my hair business. Like, so it is important. We all have reasons why we're on social media. I know a lot of people always say like, oh, I don't have time to do something, or I don't have time to do that. If you have time to scroll through your phone for, I don't know, an hour, which most of us do, that we scroll through our phones way more than an hour. There's an app on your phone that will even track how much you're on your phone during the week, and you'd be shocked if you actually used it and looked at it. So you guys have time. You have time to pick up a book. You have time to listen to that podcast. You have time to listen to an Audible. You have time. Stop wasting the time and actually use the time you have to improve yourself. If you want a better life, you have to do things that you never thought you would do. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to change things. You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. It just does not work like that. It doesn't. It's literally the definition of insanity. So I don't want you guys to waste any more time. Like, it's time to get on the board of self-development and actually, like, do it. So there's a couple different books that I want to talk to you guys about. Obviously, I've mentioned this book all week long because it's seriously incredible. And the good thing about this book is that it's actually, like, not only is it easy to read, but it's funny. It's real. I mean, just like I was telling you guys, like, chapter 11 says, like, your brain is your bitch. Like, you know, she cusses in here. She talks about a lot of things. She's real. I mean, it's a book that a lot of us can understand in this type of generation. So You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it's really just the front of it says how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life, which is totally true. Stop doubting yourself, you guys. We're all so concerned about what everybody else thinks. But the funny thing about it is that, just like I said earlier in the week, the people that are like, we think that everybody's so concerned about us, but really it's the same for the people that you think that are concerned about you. They're actually just concerned about them in the way that you think about them. So why are you wasting your time worrying about what all these other people think? Like, who cares? I'm sure there's plenty of people that watch my live videos and are probably like, this girl's retarded. Or this girl, she's never going to make it. Or this girl, that girl, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I don't care. Misery loves company. If somebody else wants to think that way, that's on them. I'm doing this stuff not just for me, but for other people. Because I'm not the only person out there that has had self-development problems, that has had depression, anxiety, stress, scared to death of what people think, comparing all the time. It's not good. It is just not good to compare. I've put myself, just to give you guys a little bit of information, I put myself in some of the deepest holes because of comparison. Some of you probably would never ever think that. And some of you would be like, oh yeah, whatever. But it's like, you can put yourself in some of the deepest holes when you compare yourself to everybody else. It's just not, it's not fair to you. And when you're depressed like that and you're miserable like that, it affects the people around you and it sucks for them too. So it's like, and I know I just said, like, don't think about everybody else, but your attitude, your tone, the way if you're just moping around all the time, nobody's going to want to be around you. If you're negative all the time, nobody's going to want to be around you. If you always talk about other people and you're constantly just being rude, nobody's going to want to do business with you or like I said, be friends with you or even be in a relationship with you. You have to kind of get away from the selfish atmosphere and really look at the big picture. What do you want by the time you're 50? What do you want by the time you're 60, 70, 80? Do you want to be retired? Do you want to retire from a really good job? Or do you want to retire from your own business because you built it because you're a boss? I mean, the choice is yours. You know what I mean? You can take the road of working a 9 to 5 and retiring from a great job. You can totally do that. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you love it. If you hate it and you actually do want to own your own business, what is it? The quote that I saw the other day, people will work 40 years to hardly get a retirement, but they won't work in their own businesses for a month because they didn't see any profit. That makes absolutely no sense. You're willing to work for somebody else to make nothing really and work for more than 40 years, most of us, especially nowadays, because we're lucky if we're ever even going to see Social Security or anything like that. So it's like you're willing to work for a company for that long that you can't stand, but you're not willing to pick yourself up and do your own thing and make your own business and have your own business and have your own freedom, because that's really what it's about, you guys. It's not about the money. Let me be completely honest with you. The money that I've made in my multi-level marketing business, I haven't spent a dime. Not a dime. It's sitting there. And part of that is because I want to save it. The other part of it is to prove that I'm not doing this because of the money. I make my own money. I don't need the money from the multi-level marketing business. Is it nice? 100%. But like I said, half of it is because I want to save it because I want a future for myself and my family. The other half is because I want to prove to some of the people that think that all of us multi-level marketing people, direct sales people, oh, we just want to take everybody's money. No, we don't. We actually care. Some people don't. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but most of us in direct sales, not only do we want to be our own bosses and we want the freedom, but we actually want to help people. We don't want to work for a corporate company or something like that that's really all concerned about themselves and not concerned about any of their employees. So it's like everybody needs to look at the big picture here, and direct sales is the wave of the future. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, we're always going to have brick and mortar buildings and retail and stuff like that because we need it. People need jobs. That's common sense. But multi-level marketing is the wave of the future, and either people are going to get on board or they're not. And I mean, you're either going to come along on the journey or you're going to sit back and eat your popcorn and watch it. And, you know, that's on you. But just to kind of get off of on that. So obviously you can do this book, You Are Badass. There's also the 4 color personalities. So this is actually the secret language for network marketing, but taking out the network marketing, it is also just a secret language. Everybody has a different personality. You guys, there's even more books that are similar to this. There's love language books. There's relationship understanding books. And I'm not talking like being in an intimate relationship with somebody or getting married or doing whatever. There are those books too. I'm talking about personalities and relationships with people in general. These books are they're awesome because it makes you understand people. So like in this one, there's 4 color personalities. Red's like the people that have really strong personalities that are more about the money and the power and the fame and stuff like that. And then you have the other ones that maybe be more, that are more like educational personalities. They want the ingredients and the knowledge and stuff like that behind it. They don't care about the money and the power and the fame or the cars or whatever. They care about other things. Some don't care about the ingredients or the knowledge or the cars or whatever. They just want to do it to help people. Everybody's personalities are so different. So you understanding different personalities and understanding different people and where they come from, that could change your entire life. It doesn't even have to be about business. It can be about anything. Because when you stop judging and you actually start to understand people and you stop being one-sided and selfish, it can actually take you a really long way, because even though a lot of us are like, gosh, I can't stand people sometimes, the crazy thing is that people are really awesome. There's so many people that are out there that are doing incredible things, and we all refuse to see it because either we don't care or we're so concerned about our own lives. But the crazy thing is that like God speaks through people, and other people push you in other directions. And when you kind of get out of your comfort zone and you do start making relationships with other people, the world is like unstoppable. You're unstoppable. Like you could go so far. So it's just crazy the things that you can do. There's also five letters. Hello. 5 levels of leadership. John Maxwell. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of John Maxwell. He is awesome. He is so awesome, you guys. He is just, he's an older gentleman. He's actually my company's like leader, like as far as like our motivational leader, like our mentor. That's really the word I was looking for. I had to like think about that for a second. But John Maxwell is our mentor in Mylett, and so we get all of our like information and trainings and different things like that. We get all of our stuff from him. So it's really, really cool. So he's a boss. He's a businessman. He's wrote plenty of books. He's a leader. He's passionate. He's all about people development, not even just self-development, because he's done so much self-development himself that now he's just involved like really in the people. So this is a really good one to read. And it's about being a leader, but if you're not running a business or you're not your own boss or whatever, it's okay. You can still read this stuff. It's about, you can learn and be a leader in your own life. You don't have to necessarily have employees or be your own boss or whatever. You can lead your own life. Also, this one, I cannot express enough how awesome this book is. It is pretty long. Some of you can read fast. I read like a turtle. So this takes me forever and I'm still not done with it. But this book is awesome. It's literally about building an empire. This has to do with network marketing as well. But like I said, just because it's about business doesn't mean that it can't be about life. You can literally build an empire in your own life. You don't necessarily have to build an empire in a business. Brian Carruthers is awesome. It's a really great read. It's on Audible. So if you guys do want to read this, I would, or at least listen to it, because it is a pretty long book. And some of it is a little hard to understand, but most of us can get the gist of it. Also, Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules of Life. This is a really good one as well. My husband actually knows more about this book than I do. I just know that he really enjoyed it, and he got a lot of information out of this book, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I think that it's extremely important to understand the rules of life. And sometimes whenever we read books like this, we pick up on things that we didn't really think about before. So sometimes it's nice to actually read something and be like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. Or, oh, I didn't know that. Or it's just, you're learning. Knowledge is power. Also, you guys, not only is self-development huge, but we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our elders. So I think a lot of people just don't care about the past. And trust me, I was one of those for a very, very long time. But the past, none of us would be here if it wasn't for the past. None of us would be here if it wasn't for our founding fathers and our history and stuff like that. And so it's extremely important to understand where we have come from. My mom has always been a history buff. That was her favorite subject in high school and actually before that, and she's still really into it. And actually my husband's family is very into history and knowledge with that as well. My father-in-law has actually, he's an author. He's actually wrote books about our history, and he's done amazing, incredible research about our history to give all of us young people like an easier way to understand what's gone on in the past. But like I said, you guys, self-development's huge. And understanding self-development isn't just about understanding yourself and figuring yourself out so you can potentially help other people or your family or you, whatever. It's also about understanding where we've come from and the fact that we wouldn't be here without the people that were here before us, whether it was our elders or veterans or like I said, founding fathers or people back in God's age and stuff like that. So it's super important to go back and remember that we are all extremely lucky to be here. Most of us have homes, roofs over our head. Most of us live in a very free country. I know that, yes, we all have to work and we have taxes and yes, we all get upset about that and whatever, but we can still do pretty much whatever we want as long as we're not breaking the law. So, we have heat, we have warm beds, we have cars that drive, we have now cars that drive themselves. Eventually, I'm sure they'll be flying or something. How chaotic that would be, I would have no idea. But, there's just a lot of things to be grateful for. And I think that a lot of us we get so caught up in the things that we're so mad about or we haven't accomplished yet or this is taking too long or whatever. But it's like, look around you. You have clothes on your back, shoes on your feet, food in your stomach, like I said, a warm bed to get into at night, books to read. We have these phones that, they're literally mini computers in our pockets. We have so much opportunity and access to so many things at our fingertips that it's almost unreal. So we need to be grateful for that. So that also goes along with self-development. But if anybody is a history buff or anything like that, my stepfather, or my father-in-law, not my stepfather, my father-in-law, his name's Les Miranuk. That is Chad's dad. He has written an incredible book. And it's all about history. He actually has, I think he's working on the third one. Chad's in the shower, otherwise I would ask him. But I think he's working on the third one right now. So it's in a series. So most people that read one book, like if there's a book one or a volume one, I guess you would say in book terms, most people want to read the next ones. So I would definitely look into these if anybody's a big history buff or anything like that. Because like I said, going back and understanding our history helps us understand why we're where we are now. And we need to be very thankful for that. So, but this is literally my father-in-law's book. Very, very smart man. Super proud of him for writing a book about our history. This is literally the profiles of the founding fathers from 1750 to 1776. And that's, 1750 to 1776, that's a long time. That took a lot of research, and a lot of time. So I would definitely read this book because it's just important to understand our background. So to end, you guys know I always end on quotes because I think that it's just important and it's always good to end on a good note. If any of you have work, I hope you guys have a great day at work, and it's Saturday, so I hope you're off tomorrow. And so you can maybe chill and have a drink or something tonight and not have to worry about work tomorrow or whatever. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And to end on quotes, I actually have 3 of them for you, and actually all 3 of these Chad found. So you can thank Chad. One of them is by Ed Mylett. I talked about him on Monday, so if you guys don't know who he is, look him up. Or you can go back to my live podcast on Monday, and I talked a lot about Ed Mylett. He's awesome, and I actually get to see him in person in September for self-development training, so I am super, super excited. And trust me, when that time comes, I will be blowing social media up because Ed Mylett's a boss. Let's get serious. So one of them's from Ed Mylett, and then 2 of them, because Chad writes down quotes and stuff in his phone, and he doesn't always write the name. So 2 of these I can't really give credit to because I don't know who they're from. So if anybody knows who they're from, let me know. And if nobody does, I just don't want to get in trouble for saying these quotes or whatever, because I'm not the one that wrote these quotes, just so you know. So The first one is from Mylett, and it is the comfortable road will never lead you to the person that you are destined to be in life. So pretty much what it's saying is that if you're going to stick in your comfort zone and if you're going to just keep doing what's comfortable, you're never ever going to lead yourself to the life and the destiny that you actually deserve. Because we're all put on this earth for a reason. We're all put on this earth to do something great. And if we just stay doing the same things and we never get out of our comfort zone because we're scared, we're never going to really know what we're good at. So it's time to just get out of the comfort zone and figure out what you're awesome at and just do it and be happy about it and have freedom about it. The second one is by somebody, like I said, I don't know. It says, what you allow to happen in your life will continue to happen in your life. Let me read that again. What you allow to happen in your life will continue to happen in your life. So if you allow people to be rude, if you allow your work to take control of you, if you allow we could even go into like weight. I'm just giving examples. If you allow yourself to be overweight and eat like shit, if you allow all of this other, like all these things, if you allow yourself not to be educated, read, self-development, all this stuff, you're going to continue to stay where you are right now. So if you want to stop being rude, stop being rude. Change your attitude. Get it together. If you want to stop working at that job or you want to stop having people have control over you, take control over the situation and change it. Do something to fix it. And become your own boss, or tell that boss that like, hey dude, I love the job, whatever, but I feel like, I'm not really getting the credit I deserve, whatever. Communication's key. People are not mind readers, you guys. So if you have a problem, say something. Stop being like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say anything, or oh, da, da, da. No, stop all that. Just speak your mind and call it a day. Yes, it may hurt for some people, but it is what it is. Get over it. And sorry, you just kind of have to be blunt. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. If you want to lose weight and you don't feel comfortable in your own skin, then lose weight. Stop eating that pizza. Stop going to McDonald's. Stop doing all of that. And you would lose the weight. Work out. Do something. You don't have to go to the gym. If you don't feel comfortable going to the gym, don't go to the gym. Work out at home. There's yoga mats you can buy on Amazon. There's ellipticals that you can get on Facebook Marketplace for $10 freaking. There's so many things. People are selling stuff all the time just to make a buck. Like, if you don't want to go to the gym because you feel uncomfortable, don't go to the gym. I used to have a girlfriend of mine. I haven't been to one of her classes in a while. Her name's Rachel. She does a awesome, dance class. You don't even have to, go to the gym and lift weights, or you don't have to run or whatever. You could go to, a cool, fun, groovy dance class and just sweat it out, dance it out, and before you know it, you're gonna lose weight like that. Especially 80% of losing weight is your food intake, your nutrition, your diet, stuff like that. But moral of the story, if you want things to change them. Stop wasting time, stop wasting other people's time, stop being down on yourself. Just do it. So the last quote is also by somebody, I have no idea who it's by, but it says, the extraordinary are fueled by the why, and the average are always stuck with the how. So let me read that again. The extraordinary are fueled by the why, and the average are always stuck with the how. So the extraordinary, the people, let's talk millionaires, for example, they're like the 1% of the 1% of the world, okay? They were more focused on why they wanted to become a millionaire. They were more focused on the journey it was going to make for their life, and why they wanted to do it. Did they want to do it for their family? Did they want to do it for themselves? Did they want to do it because they wanted that jet? Did they want to do it because they wanted that car or whatever, that house? Or did they want a beach mansion or something? They did it, or they could have wanted to help people, which most of millionaires, they really do want to help people. Some of them are stingy, whatever, but I won't go into all that. But it's those people were more focused on the why they got into the business, why they spent the money, why they decided to do everything. But the average of us are thinking about, how am I going to do that? How am I going to get the money? How am I going to pay for that? How am I going to get customers? How am I going to get that person to like me? How? Stop doing that. You're literally going to drive yourself nuts. So stop thinking about how and think about why. Why do you want to do it? Like me, for example, I got into multi-level marketing because, one, I've been my own boss for almost 5 years. I am an employee as far as my hair side goes, but I've been my own boss for a while. And so I liked the freedom. I liked the freedom of having my own schedule, working when I wanted to, doing whatever, and still being able to make money. But I also love helping people. The two careers that I'm in is hair and massage. That is literally skin and hair, obviously. So it's like, I want to help people. I like making people feel better about themselves, whether it's giving them a relaxing massage so they can stop thinking about the stress in their life, or whether it's about fixing their hair and fixing their crown and making them feel better about walking outside because they have beautiful hair on their head now. It's like, I got into multi-level marketing because I wanted the freedom and I wanted to be more involved with my family and their lives. And I wanted to help people. Not because I wanted the money, not because I wanted, let me just put all this stuff on social media so everybody can hate me. No, I didn't do any of it because of that. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was thinking about what I wanted and why I wanted to get involved. That's what we all need to be thinking about, is more so the why. What do we want out of our lives? Why do we want to do those things? And just do it. And it takes time, you guys. Stuff is not going to happen overnight. I don't know how many times we have to tell people this stuff. And it's not just me. I even have to hear it sometimes. Like, I am not a perfect person, but you just have to look at the big picture. What do you really want out of your life, and why do you want it, and what are you going to do to get there? And remember, it's going to take time. Most millionaires took them 10 to 15 years before they made millions. There's books and people I've listened to that their first 5 to 7 years, some of them 10 years, they didn't make a dime. They didn't make a profit, but they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and now they're millionaires. They have 7 businesses. They have 10 businesses. They're doing this, they're doing that. It's like, it's actually kind of crazy. So stop thinking about the how and start thinking about the why and what you actually want out of your life and what you want for other people too. Even though, like I said, you don't always have to think about everybody else, but the world is filled with some great people. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. I hope you have a good day at work, or I hope you have a good day off. And stay warm. I don't know where everybody is, but I'm in St. Louis and it is freezing here. So stay warm and be careful, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.